Introduction to Vendor Master. Vendor Master is used to create vendor. To create a new vendor or to edit the existing details of the vendor, go to Masters and select Vendor Master. Enter the details in the 3 tab pages, Vendor Details, Address Details, and Contact Details, and click on the Save button. Below is the Vendor Details tab. Vendor Details tab. In the Vendor Details tab page, there are vendor name, contact person, discount percentage, GST, food grain license, credit days, etc. Vendor name, enter the name of the vendor here and proceed. Contact person, enter the name of the contact person of the vendor. Discount percentage, enter the discount percentage which the vendor is going to give to the buyer or store. If we define the discount percentage for the particular linking SKU to the vendor, will apply the discount automatically. GST. If we want to enter the GST number for the vendor, then the vendor must be GST vendor. This field will be enabled only if we select the registered radio button in the Vendor Details tab. Food grain license. If the vendor is having food grain license, then enter the same here. Credit days. If the vendor is giving any credit days to the store or buyer, then enter those credit days here. Registered. If the vendor is a registered vendor under GST, select this option and later enter the GST number in its respective field. Unregistered. If the vendor is not a registered vendor under GST, then we need to select this option. Composite. If the vendor is related to the composite taxpayer under GST, then we need to select this option. Note, the composition scheme is meant for small businesses whose turnover of taxable goods is not more than 1.5 crores rupees. Lead days. If the vendor is giving any lead days to the store or buyer, enter those lead days here. Lead days means a purchase order lead time, i.e., the number of PG.26 days from when a company or buyer or store places an order for supplies to when those items arrive or reach to company or buyer or store. Drug license. If the vendor has any drug license, enter the same here. MFG description. If the vendor is connected to any manufacturer, then select the respective manufacturer from the list. Vendor ledger. If we want to integrate the Tally application with the Prana application, then we must enter the ledger name of the vendor here. Make sure that the vendor ledger name should match with the name in the Tally application for that tenant. Inactive. This field is used to make the vendor inactive. Address Details tab. Address Details tab page includes Address 1, Address 2, Area, Country, State, State GST code, City, Phone number, Mobile number, Email ID, PIN code and URL. Enter Address 1 and Address 2. Enter the area. Select the required country from the list. Select the state from the list here. State GST code. Based on the selected state, the state code will appear here. Select the required city from the list. Enter the phone number of the vendor. Enter the mobile number of the vendor. Enter the email ID of the vendor. Enter the PIN code of the area of the vendor. Enter the URL of the vendor. Terms and Conditions tab. Enter the terms and conditions related to the vendor. We can have multiple headings for the entered text and modify the text in the form of bold, italic, and underscore. We can align the text. We can have the ordered list and unordered list. We can insert a hyperlink and can include images and table. To edit the existing details, select the Edit button of the respective record, line item, change the details, and click on the Update button. Excel and PDF format of vendor details can be generated with the help of the respective Export button.